A radical rethink on a daily practice, part 2. If you didn't watch part 1, I would suggest watching that after you watch this. But this is part 2, and this is this is a little bit more of a radical rethink. There's 2 parts to this. I'm Megan Genge, and I am audacious enough to say that I have the answer to anything that's bothering you, to any of your problems. I have the answer. And it's not actually me that has the answer. Spoiler, it's actually you that has the answer, but I can teach you how to find it. I can teach you how to be it. I can teach you how to live in a way that feels where you are empowered and you are the magic you've always known you are. That's who I am. And so today we're talking about a spiritual practice, and this is part 2. The when we talk, there are two reasons I'm telling you this. And one is because what people don't say, and what I have taught for years, is that the showing up is actually the practice. When my dad was a minister, he had or he tells a story. I don't know if it was him or whether it was someone else's story, but he told the story of an old farmer that used to come to church. And he would come and he would sit in his pew and he would promptly fall asleep. And he would stay asleep for the entire service. And at the end of the service, when the last hymn was being sung, he would get up and he would always thank my dad or the minister for the wonderful service. And I'm pretty sure it was my dad, because he said he was so honored and pleased that that man came and sat and got what he needed in the service. He said this guy worked so hard the rest of the week. He worked constantly the rest of the week. And this was probably the only hour that he sat still. And yet he came and he showed up to church. And that has stuck with me forever, because it's the showing up. You never know what you're going to get when you show up. When I show up and I write, if you haven't watched the first of these 2 videos, I have shown up over 3,000 days in a row to write. And it's not about the writing. The writing every day changes. Sometimes I collect quotes from what I'm reading. Sometimes I work through stuff. Sometimes I script my days and lift myself. Sometimes I get eurekas and ahas. Sometimes I get full magic downloads. Sometimes it's a slog to get a page and a half. But it doesn't matter what happens at that time. What matters is that I showed up for it. And we as a culture in the Western culture are being really, our attention is being fractured. We can so easily go from watching something, interacting with something, to picking up our phone. When we want to learn something, we only have to look it up. We don't have to wonder and search and be curious anymore. And so the showing up, I really believe that in this world with ease, with AI writing scripts and with AI creating courses and with AI creating everything, that our ability to show up no matter what, for what we most want, what matters most to us, is a radical act of rebellion. Because we show up for other people. You show up for other people. And then you wonder why you feel a bit off. You wonder why things don't feel magical. You wonder why you are still searching, why you can't seem to get ahead, or ahead is a weird word, why you can't seem to get where it is you most want to be. And it's because, are you showing up for your deepest soul nudge, for who you know you are? And if you don't know who you are, come and find me in the answer, because I will help you find out who you are and do that on purpose and make magic with it every moment you can. So showing up. So whatever it is you choose to do, the showing up is the practice. If you do yoga, it doesn't matter what you do once you're on the mat. What matters is that you unroll it and you stand on the mat. That's the part that matters. And so get into showing up every day, no matter what. I know I've lost a lot of people as soon as I say that, because it is now unusual and rare to have that kind of integrity with ourselves. And it's a practice. So when you don't show up for whatever reason it is, and life can happen. So say you wake up in the morning and you're like, I didn't do it yesterday. Do you fail? Do you quit? Do you say, well, why bother? Or do you wonder, why? Why didn't I show up yesterday? What can I learn from that? How can I heal that? How can I shift that? Or how can I show up today anyway? And I'm just going to keep going. I lead a lot of e-courses. I've led over, I think, I don't know, upwards of 30 or 40 e-courses now. And the number of people who sign up and then stop opening the course on day 3 is wild. They pay for the course. They're all in. They're all in the Telegram or the class group, and then they disappear. Why? Inevitably, they say they're too busy, or they say, I got behind and I got overwhelmed. And instead of just picking up where they left off, just showing up again, they let that derail them. Honestly, truly, does that happen for you? Practice showing up today. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday. Doesn't matter what's going to happen tomorrow. Show up no matter what today. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't look at the 4 million times you're going to do it. Just look at today. That is the number one practice, and it will change your life. But again, the showing up today has to matter to you because it comes from who you are. Again, I can help you do that. Secret number 2, special offer number 2, which I guess is further because this is part 2, is this is a separate thing. In your spiritual practice, what are you doing that matters to you? In your work, what are you doing that matters to you? Right now, as I record this, it is very hot and it is very loud by 8 a.m. And I'm recording this at 7:45. Normally, because I wanted to get this before it got too hot and too loud, because otherwise I wouldn't do it because it's too hot and it's too loud. And so normally in the mornings, if I can, I do my daily writing. I sit down and I do my daily writing. And I have a whole lot of other things that I do in the mornings to really get myself aligned if I can, if I have time. I light a candle for my beloved that are lost, that are gone. I often light a candle and do a little bit of magic, a little bit of intentionality. I often do other writing. I script my day. There's so much magic that I can do. And I love it in the morning. I love it in the morning because the quality of my attention is really high and the quality of the air is really clear. You know, like nobody else is around. I'm all alone. The sun is rising. I have clear focus. It's beautiful intentionality. And here's the question that I have for you. If you have an established daily practice, is there something else that really matters to you that you are not doing? For me, it was these videos. For me, it was doing recordings for my work, for my courses. It was doing authentic transmission because that is who I am. I'm all about authentic transmission. And when I was getting to the end of the day earlier this month, I was getting to the end of the day and I hadn't done it because it was too hot and it was too loud. And I had all of these very good reasons and very good excuses. And so here is the radical rethink. It's not really a radical rethink because there's lots of things, eat the frog, do the hardest thing first, all of that. But whatever it is that you get to the end of the day and think, oh, I really should have done that. And you haven't, make that your spiritual practice for a little while. Don't stop doing the other one. I'm still writing. I can write when it's hot and it's loud. That's the way it goes. But these videos, my course videos, my transmissions for the answer, my magic, my authentic transmission wasn't happening. And so I have put it first. I'm getting all of it done. Everything that I have really good excuses not to do, but that is a part of who I am, what I'm doing, how I'm being of service, what the magic is for me, what my growth edge is. I'm doing it first while the cicadas are loud, while it's 10,000 degrees. Because by the time I hit 8 a.m., I'm in the zone. I've gotten it done. I feel proud of myself. I know I've been aligned authentically, but because it's 8 a.m., you can hear my voice isn't as clear as it could be. And magic is happening. Rest of the day almost doesn't matter. I know I'm going to show up and write. I know I've got lots to do, but I have enlivened my authentic spiritual, the true spiritual practice, which is me pushing my edge, which is me transmitting magic, which is me connecting to who I'm here to serve, which is me creating this opportunity for teaching, for magic, for connection, for cross-pollination. And it's done before 8. So the radical rethink is, even especially if you have a morning practice that takes a little while and you know that in the morning your quality of attention is amazing. Even every once in a while, even once a week, shift your morning practice from what you do and you are learning to do anyway to something at your growth, your soul growth edge, to something that you keep going, oh, I really should have done that, to writing the email, to starting the Substack, to making the videos, to those are all my kind of options, but to doing some magic, to casting a spell, to going outside and doing something, to exercise, to whatever it is that you know. And if you don't know, again, come to the answer and I will help you know. That's number one. You will know, and everything changes when you know. But do something as a spiritual practice, because it is from your growth edge, from what you know needs to be done, from what is asking you to do it, and do it before 8 or 7 or 6. Whenever you normally fill your time with a beloved spiritual practice or me time, once a week at least, make your me time, about me becoming. And you'll have done what Lewis Carroll says, you'll have believed 6 impossible things before breakfast. It's this magical time when you can just show up and do it and let it be imperfect. Show up at your growth edge. So there's my final lesson in the radical rethink of a spiritual practice. Today's show up no matter what. Today, just today. And then do it again tomorrow. And if you don't show up again, and then wonder what happened and try to play with it and understand it and shift it. Do it anyway. Number 2, once a week at least, twice, 3 times, 4 times, if you can, maybe even 5 times a week. It's up to you. I think I'm going to do this 4 times a week, 3-4 times a week. Show up at your growth edge and make that a spiritual practice. And see how far, not far, there's no distance. See how magical your days can become. See how much you can start to shift around and start to create reality in a way that you want. And you start to trust. The real magic is you begin to trust yourself. You begin to do what you say you're going to do. You begin to create a relationship of faith with yourself and with the universe. We'll talk about that in another video. Thank you for being here, for watching. Please like it. Please share it. please interact with it. It's the best thing you can possibly do for small creators like me. And understand and know that you are absolutely the magic. Take very good care. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is.